Last month we got to see the first footage of Konami's new Yu-Gi-Oh game, Master Duel. And according to a recent VJump article, we will be hearing more news about this game next week at Gamescom. But in anticipation of next week's announcement, I wanted to make a video of the top 5 things players want to see from this new game. The Yu-Gi-Oh experience is divided into 3 key elements: collecting cards, building decks, and playing matches. Konami have always placed a strong emphasis on these components and have chosen to always include them in their games. There are now over 10,000 cards in the game, spanning over 25 years worth of content. This is good, but also it kind of makes it so that if you're a new player or even a returning player to the game, it can be kind of daunting at times, and at worst it also puts people off. There will definitely be some form of card collecting in this game, but it needs to be as painless as possible to go through because not everyone enjoys it. Particularly speaking, we need to know how people will find the cards they're looking for and what it will cost to obtain them. Personally, I would love to see this game have some kind of rarity system. One where maybe filling out your collection can be easily done with common versions of cards, but then make it harder to obtain higher rarity versions, such as cards with holographic effects or alternative artworks. But please, oh please, do not make it a chore. Deck building is genuinely a lot of fun to do. It's great to be able to research and come up with ideas and strategies on how different cards can work together. However, it can also be very difficult and very time consuming to do. Many players find the process to be intimidating and they don't want to spend hours upon hours just trying to work out what cards to put into their decks. Master Duel needs to have features which help people who may struggle with deck building, whilst also not limiting those who are more able. We've seen clever features implemented in other Yu-Gi-Oh games, such as giving deck recipes for players to follow so they can copy and build their own decks. I personally love the related card feature in Legacy of the Duelist, where with just a push of a button, you can see all the cards that work with the card that you've chosen. I would love to see ideas like this make a return and perhaps be expanded upon. Perhaps this game can provide pre-built decks on a rotation, like characters on a MOBA. Or perhaps it could include a way for players to share their decks with one another. Ranked modes, casual modes, tag duels, tournaments, single elimination, sealed draft, battle royales. Players love variety, so especially in this game. It stops the game feeling stale. If you ever travel to a Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series YCS, you can play in the main event or just play side content if you want to. People who genuinely enjoy those and don't always want to feel like they can only play a single meta. I would love to see this game introduce challenges and events, like in Duel Links and other gacha games, ways that you can have fun without necessarily just having to play competitively. In terms of online play, there are 2 big questions Konami needs to answer. 1. Will there be cross-platform play? And 2. Will there be an account system? With this game being made available on every modern SKU, including iOS, PC and Android, the worst thing Konami could do is make players feel that they have to choose where they play it and who they will be able to play with. We want to see that this game has cross-platform support, and that if you own multiple platforms, that you can just log into your account and continue where you left off. Despite being a repackaged PS3 game, Legacy of the Duelist was a success. It was the only officially licensed way to digitally play the full card game. But if you ask anyone who was a big fan of the game why they stopped playing, they'll tell you they just got bored. And that is because updates to the game were very sporadic and not well communicated. We want to see that Master Duel is treated almost as a live service, where people are encouraged to remain engaged with the game by introducing new things to do every now and then. This could be in the form of cosmetic skins, new booster sets, special events, and maybe even collaborations with other franchises. Imagine it, we have a special event where one week you can earn a skin for like Crash Bandicoot, or if you're on Nintendo Switch, earn a Mario skin or a Halo skin for Xbox. Whatever it is, just to keep the game feeling fun and fresh and interesting to play. And so there you have it, 5 things we would like to learn about from Gamescom next week. Stay tuned to the channel where we'll be covering this news as soon as it's released. Thank you for watching and I'll see you then.